Today we are enjoying great coffee in the CNB Green Room from Jackson Coffee Company, where today it's Equal Pay Day. All ladies get 17% off everything, like this awesome coffee. Breakfast blend, thank you Jackson Coffee Company. Fresh, super fresh, as they ship in beans from fair trade coffee producers in Latin and Central America, South America, even Hawaii from time to time, and it's super fresh. They roast and then grind the beans and brew you a great cup of coffee downtown and on East Michigan Avenue. And today we want to thank Taher Food Service and Jackson Public Schools for boxed lunches today. Awesome croissant sandwiches of ham, roast beef, turkey. They're house-made cookies, macaroni salad, fresh fruit, chips, and more. Taher Food Service and Brant Russell and his team did a spectacular job last Friday night at the Ambassador Auction with incredible hors d'oeuvres. Nice job, everyone. It was the hit of the night. Everyone raving about the pork belly. What were those things, Brandon, that they made, that Chef Chris made?
It's like
pork belly dumplings.
dumplings. Yeah.
Yes, he discovered the recipe in Prague and brought it back to the United States, and it was fantastic. So thanks to Taher Food Service for a great lunch today. Well, with high school basketball winding down, we only have one team left, and they're playing tonight in the regional final against Langsburg at Hanover Horton High School. Get tickets in advance and get there early. It'll be a full house, and there will be people turned away, I'm pretty certain of. Some of the games of the past couple of months will be airing this weekend on the Avenue Auto Sports Weekend on JTV. Our first guest on the show today was recently named the MySTEM Educator of the Year for STEM, Jackson Area Career Center teacher, robotics coach, John Reideman. Hi, John.
Hey, Bart. How you doing today?
Good. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was really shocked to actually get the award, and you have to get nominated for it. Mm-hmm. So I never did find out who nominated me. I have a couple sneaky suspicions, but no one admitted to it. I think it's my principal, Dan Draper, but he was holding it pretty close to the heart for a while. So.
You know, it could have been a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because you've impacted students all throughout Jackson County and really all throughout Michigan with your leadership of robotics in our community. Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Actually, I remember John and I went on a bike ride several years ago, and you told me you were leaving the corporate world.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah. And
we're getting old. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you said you were leaving, and it was Michigan Center. You worked out at
we're at Adco Products.
Adco Products.
Yeah, it was Adco, and then I think it went to H.B. Fuller and Royal Adhesives, and had a couple little changes. But yeah, they're behind the old Holiday Power Sports. So yeah, and that was 2010, probably nine or 10 when we were talking. So, and then I've been teaching ever since then. The opportunity came up at the Career Center. And it's been great. So it's a great place to work. And I keep saying, like, yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But it's also, a testament to the Career Center and everything, the great people we have there, because we have a lot of great teachers that I've looked up to over the years and tried to emulate. And the classic saying is steal from the best, invent the rest. So I try to pick things from everybody I've worked with over the years and say, okay, I like this part, I like this, and then put it together. So I think it's an award not just for me, but for Career Center as a whole too, because just a testament of what we can do for the students of the county.
I think you're right. It would be, I think, for the whole school, you are an example of the type of teacher that is educating career-minded students.
Right.
Because you came from a career, you don't have a teaching background.
Right.
You made it up as you went along.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where having the other teachers really helped me out a lot too there. And it is a different perspective. You're exactly right. All the teachers at the Career Center have that prior work experience. When we come into there, we've got this information and this information we bring to the table, and I always jokingly call it street cred to the students. That way they know, like, hey, we have worked in industry, we have been there before. And the other part that's really cool now that I've been doing it long enough, even with robotics after school, I have mentors come in that I had as students that now they've been 10 years now out of high school, and they've got that street cred built up now too, where they doubly have it because they were a student, so they can communicate to the students and say, hey, I understand where you're coming from. I was in your shoes before, but then this is why Mr. Reideman's saying this, and so they have my back. It's pretty awesome, and they're doing great too. I have a couple of really great mentors helping us out this year.
Well, STEM Educator of the Year.
Yeah.
For all the work that you do in robotics in particular, because we were talking before the show, John is the uncle of robotics in Jackson County.
Yeah.
I called him Godfather, but he didn't like that. Sounded too
A little too harsh.
Yeah.
Maybe not though. I don't. Depends on who you ask, right? So.
Here you are getting the award.
Yep.
And there were a couple of other.
Yeah, there was another teacher next to me there, and then Scott Heister. He is the MI Region 2 STEM director. So he was the one that coordinates this, and that Region 2 is Jackson, Hillsdale, Lenawee, Livingston, Monroe, Washtenaw County. So a pretty good area to get selected out of. So I was incredibly appreciative of it.
It's great. Sure. Great for our community because
yes,
it does. And I think it's one more thing that communicates that Jackson County in Michigan is really one of the leaders in robotics.
Yeah, we certainly try to be, that's for sure. And we have a really good culture built up where, like last night, for instance, we had Columbia Central came over, East Jackson came over to practice on our field for their upcoming competitions. And then we have, like even in my class at the Career Center, I have students that are on other teams. So they're always asking like, hey, how are you guys doing this? What are you doing here? What's the mechanical design on this? And they're taking the skills because I'm teaching them SolidWorks and the basics of engineering. And then they're bringing that back to their teams within the county. And that always works really well. And it's great to see even like East Jackson, one of the students that I had last year in my class, but scheduling couldn't come back this year, but he's doing robotics. So I saw him at the tournament and catching up with him, and he's like, look what we built. And they're stupid proud. And they should be because they've built some incredible machines. And they're getting that experience and then moving on and going to college.
Have you seen, so robotics students in your earlier years, have you seen them then actually get into robotics for a career?
Oh yeah. For instance, one of the students graduated way back in 17. He's graduated from Kettering, and now he's designing the hardware and software systems of robotic surgery systems.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. So it's some pretty awesome stuff that the students get into. And they're spread all over between machine design. They're doing piping systems, gas pipeline systems at consumers, or they're working on the robotic automation systems at Mackey, or there's students that are doing automation systems in Detroit area for the machine tool suppliers. And I've got students down in Virginia for the shipbuilding yards, where they're doing testing on nuclear submarines and nuclear what's the flight, the big ships.
Aircraft carriers.
Aircraft carriers. He gets to go out like 2 weeks at a time and actually test all the systems, make sure it works before they actually turn it over to the military. So they go everywhere. It's pretty awesome to see and stay in touch with all of them and how well they're doing.
That's pretty cool. So, it's got to be really rewarding for you.
It's incredibly rewarding and I always tell, like, I see parents and like at the robotics tournaments, other parents come back and I'm like, hey, you got to talk to my wife because she's the one who supported me through all this stuff. So she's the one who really sacrifices a lot to allow me to do this and help the community. So she's the pillar behind everything.
That's right. It's in every life, in every family.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the whole family, for sure.
And Ruth, you've got someone that's very supportive in a big leap that you took when you decided you wanted to.
Absolutely. It was a risk for me at the time. It turned out great, but I had her back because she's working and doing well too. So we had a fallback plan. So that definitely helps.
A couple weeks ago, it was at Spring Arbor University for First Michigan robotics competition. Kids from all over the state came down, and our crew got a chance to catch up with a couple Jacktown vectors. And here's a quick clip. Cool.
We're with the Jacktown Vectors, Dr. Bartholomew here and Joel, and we made our way over here. Half of your team is helping out another team, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what this station is, what you guys are getting ready to do before the competition starts.
So Jackson Preparatory and Early College, it has 2 bots this year. It's all run by 8th graders, and so we're helping them out. Right now, we're getting them tested on the practice field here so that they know what is going on. We know the bots are running, so the kids can get out there and rip it up.
Awesome. So you're helping out. You've been involved in this quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I was involved in 9th grade. I took a break and now I'm back.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what you've learned in robotics. I mean, this is cool. Look at this competition, tons of people. Talk about what you've learned leading up to this competition.
There's a lot to be said for building, programming, wiring, things like that all need to be done. A lot of it comes down to cooperation. A lot of things, having people around to cover for your mistakes or just deposit ideas makes things a lot easier. It just relaxes everything. It also gives us an opportunity to help teach others, so that works.
It's a real team environment here.
Yeah, especially the Jacktown team has a lot of members, and our bot was mostly finished, so we have the opportunity to help out others and make final changes as needed.
Very cool. So tell me about the bots. What are some of the things that is designed and programmed to do?
These ones, it's mostly just a push bot for now.
Okay.
I believe we have an autonomous program, so it'll be able to move around and stuff, but we can't pick up anything at the moment. They're working on the components for that right now.
Awesome. So tell me about when 8th graders get involved in robotics. I mean, it seems like you go from 0 to 60 pretty quick.
It really is, and of course with the storms that went through this area, it's really kind of set them back. But it's very, very fun for these 8th graders to actually be participating at a high school level. It really gives them a view of where they're headed and what they could actually be doing over the next 4 or 5 years.
Cool. And John, just kind of explain a little bit more, because that was Clint Bartholomew from JPEC.
Yes. Yeah, so we work with JPEC. We have a lot of students, since we're right next door to them, that come over and join the team. Joel, that was there, for instance, is a senior from JPEC that works on our team and everything. Both Doc B, Clinton Bartholomew, and Mr. Pratt are teachers at JPEC that come over and work with us and help build our robot. Now, we had an opportunity for a grant this year, and in one of the clips, there was a gentleman in a red jacket. He's the mentor for the 2 JPEC teams that are middle school 8th grade teams, and ironically enough, he was a former Career Center student through the machining program, and now we've roped him into helping us out too, luckily. And then you can see in the background in one of them, a former programmer from our team is actually working with a Langsburg team now, because he lives up there and works up in the Langsburg area. So it's pretty awesome to see that network out there and working together. But Mr. Owen from working with the JPEC team and working with Shop Rats, they've done that through a grant. And he needed a lot of help because it was his first year doing it, and that's where we stepped in and helped him out with everything he needed. So it was.
And that's what's amazing.
Great.
You see the cooperation between teams that are competing, and they're helping each other. A screw falls off, and you've got somebody that's going to help you.
Yep, exactly. And we take great pride in that in our team. We kind of got away from it during COVID, but now we're back and really pushing for that. So we were lucky enough to get the Gracious Professionalism Award at the last tournament, which means you're the team going out and helping everybody else and making sure they're running. If their bot breaks, or we can add anything to it. And like Joel mentioned, the thing, we have enough team members and our robot was in really good shape, so we sent kids out specifically to help a lot of the rookie teams, because it really helps them build their self-confidence and self-efficacy when they get in and they're working with other students their age, and they realize, like, oh yeah, I can actually help this. When they come back from the tournament, they're completely ecstatic and they're just workhorses at that point in time.
Well, it's a great example they're setting for the kids, really, because this kind of collaboration is going to happen once they get into the real world.
Absolutely.
And you do, I think, a really great job of demonstrating that in how you teach. You've got you're bringing in business partners. You need something from Alro or from Technique.
Yeah.
I mean, these people.
It's amazing how much support we get locally between Alro. I got to put a huge shout out, for instance, to Livonia Tool and Laser. They were laser cutting parts for us because we're rehabbing our robot. So Friday when we had a snow day, I went over there, picked them up, got to see it run, see their facility. Orbit Forms helped us out. There's you name it in the county. Team Mackey has helped, Consumers has helped. It's absolutely amazing what we've seen, and more companies more and more want to help out too.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing.
And Livonia Tool, they're not in Livonia.
Right, they're down in Litchfield.
Yeah.
Right.
For some reason they're in Litchfield. But
Yeah. There's a long story.
the teaching aspect of it, typically a teacher that gets into it has someone that they remember that taught them. Was there someone that, when you think back to your school years, that maybe gave you a little bit of incentive to be?
Yeah, I mean, there's always somebody, right? Like for me, it was Mr. Lebo, Mr. Novak, Mr. Wilson, you know, the physics professor and the mechanical drawing professor, or teachers that I had. And then several through college too, but the high school ones always stick with you, so.
Yeah, among the things that you are recognized for: promote active learning and imaginative, critical, and independent thinking, developing a love of learning. And I've seen that your students, they're there at night sometimes.
Yeah, I had to kick them out at 8:30 last night. I was like, it's time to go. We originally planned for 6, and they're like, no, we got to get a little more done and more, because we know we have a competition coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So they wanted to keep working until we got it done so we could get it to wiring and programming tonight. So the hope is by 3 o'clock today we turn it over to programming on our version 3 robot, which is really like version 5 or 6 if you count all the previous versions that we've built this year.
Yeah, so you've actually over the years have transformed Jackson Area Career Center into a perennial finalist in the state championships.
Yeah.
You're always there.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll make it this year too, knock on wood, right?
So what's 2 weeks? What's next?
Not this weekend, the following weekend we have a competition. It's over in Battle Creek, and then 2 weeks after that, if we qualify for states, we'll go up at Saginaw Valley State.
Cool.
So.
Well, congratulations on the honor.
Thank you.
And thanks for all you do.
Thank you. It's great to come on and have the time to go through stuff. And yeah, it's wonderful teaching at the Career Center. You know, and the students I get are just spectacular, so that helps me look good too.
Awesome.
So.
Well, we're all proud of you, and thanks for representing Jackson so well in the state.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Come back and report.
Yeah, I will. I'll have the students come back.
Okay.
I'll let them go on the spotlight rather than me.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
From the Jackson Area Career Center, first robotics lead mentor and 11th grade, 12th grade teacher, and STEM Educator of the Year, John Reideman. Stay with us. Up next, we're going to see what this downtown social district is all about. It starts Friday. Corey Mays is in from the DDA and is just ahead.